Hello, welcome back everybody, or if you're new, welcome to my channel, The Chronicles of Colvin. Today, if you can't tell by my fantastic attire, we are talking Fantastic Four First Steps. This is my non-spoiler review of Fantastic Four First Steps. If you follow my channel, you have seen my out-of-theater reaction to Fantastic Four, which I really enjoyed. As you can see, I have the Fantastic Four Reed Richards costume on right now. I feel like I make a pretty good Reed Richards. So let's get into non-spoilers for this movie. First off, I had a blast at this movie. I went last Thursday. I went last Thursday. The reason my video I haven't made my reaction videos yet or reviews yet is because last Thursday we went on vacation last Friday. We just got back yesterday. So I'm had some family time. Now I'm back to making my videos. So I had a blast. I went to the Thursday night AMC IMAX MCU fan event, and I had a blast. There were several people in costumes. They had all the popcorn buckets. The theater was pretty much packed. I mean, I couldn't sit in the middle of the IMAX theater. I had to sit over on the side, which was fine. I just wasn't anticipating it being that packed. But everybody was excited. Everybody was into it. Everybody loved it. That's what I really wanted when I went to the early Superman screening, the Amazon screening. That's what I was expecting and hoping that Superman event to be, and it wasn't. And I think the reason it wasn't is because DC doesn't have the MCU fan base that brings fans to these movies. DC fans have kind of abandoned the brand because of everything that's gone on in the past, and they're now just building it back up. So I hope they can get to that point where it's like going to an MCU movie, where it's not just a movie, it's an event. And that was a blast. If I would have had this costume then, I definitely would have worn it and just had a blast there at the movie. So to get into the movie, it's very much, I'm going to compare Superman and Fantastic Four a lot in not just this non-spoiler video, but my spoiler video as well, because they're very similar. This movie, again, felt like Superman. It was very much like a comic book ripped from the pages, thrown right on the screen. The whole movie is very much a tribute to Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. You feel their presence throughout the whole movie. It's big. The CGI is great. I didn't see any issues with it. As far as the story, I thought the story and the writing was solid. Pacing the movie, the first half is really good. You get kind of to the middle, the second act, into part 3 in the last act, and it does slow down a little bit and gets a little bit bogged down in itself. It does get a little bit boring, and then it picks up in the third act. That was my only issue with that, is the pacing kind of got bogged down. It's not a long movie. I think it was only like 2 hours. The characters are good. I thought they wrote good, but they don't really get as deep as I was hoping we'd kind of get with the characters. Pedro Pascal, he does a decent read, but he didn't really sell me that he was Reed Richards. And that's not a spoiler, it's just non-spoiler, just overall. Vanessa Kirby, I thought she was great as Sue. I think she's definitely the standout of the four. Johnny was good. Very akin to the comics and even the Chris Evans Johnny. But they didn't really he was very surface level, and they didn't really dive into anything. And same with Ben. He could have been a very standout character, which he was. I think he was my second favorite behind Sue. He was good, but could have been a lot better. They didn't really dive into much with his character. I'll get into more of that in the spoiler video. The villain, of course, if you've seen the trailers, is Galactus. They do a great job with Galactus. The CGI is great. The Silver Surfer, her stuff, the CGI is great. Her story was, good. They balanced that out good. All the other characters I thought were good. My biggest nitpick that I had with the movie, and it's not really a big nitpick, but they don't really focus on their powers a lot. There were a lot of scenes where I thought they could have been using their powers much more, or develop them, especially with Reed. There's a lot of scenes, and I'll get into more of this in my spoiler review, but there's a lot of scenes where he could have used his powers and it would have fit and would have been cool, and they didn't. And they kind of do that with all the characters. The only one that you really see get to use their powers a lot throughout the whole movie, I would say, would be Ben, because he's always the thing. Johnny uses his quite a bit, and Sue, again, quite a bit. But Reed, you really don't get to see him showcase his powers very much. I felt like there was a couple scenes in the trailers that I didn't see in the movie, so I don't know if they were cut out or not, but they didn't seem like they were there. Of course, there are 2 post-credit scenes. I'm not going to say what they are. If you've seen my out-of-theater reaction, you know one of them got me very excited for what is to come. And at the same time, upon reflection, has me questioning a couple things, because if you've seen Thunderbolts, you know in their post-credit scene that they tease something that doesn't happen in this movie. So I'm not sure what that was alluding to. I'll talk more about that in my spoiler video. But that's my non-spoiler review of Fantastic Four First Steps. It's a fun movie. It definitely is more family-oriented. It focuses on the family. Just doesn't really delve deep into the characters like I wanted, to really appreciate these characters or get to know them like we have in past films like the Fox Fantastic Four movies. This was just almost more surface level, and I hope in the future that we dive more into the characters and what makes them who they are, what makes them tick, why they do what they do. Besides just being Fantastic Four and they have these powers, what drives them, what motivates them. So yeah, I definitely go check this out. It's another good installment in the MCU. This was something more different than what they've done before. This felt more like a comic book. And I hope they continue to go that direction with these movies. I think that was a good choice. The colors pop, the 60s futuristic setting, I loved it. I thought that was a great choice. It's going to be odd seeing how they mold that into the rest of the MCU when the Fantastic Four comes into the current MCU. And that might be why people are liking the Superman movie and Fantastic Four movie so much, is because it feels like it's a world that we're not in, whereas the MCU feels like a world that we are in. So I think people are liking the fantastical elements of these more than feeling like they're part of the movie. So I'm not going to give a rating here on my non-spoiler review. You have to go watch my spoiler review, and I'll give my rating for the movie in my spoiler review. So make sure you go check that out. If you guys haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm trying to build this channel up. I just made over 100 videos. I'm trying to build subscribers up, trying to get some affiliate links so I can bring you guys more content, more reviews, more reactions, all the good stuff. So make sure you share. It's very important. I thank you for watching. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Go see Fantastic Four if you haven't already. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you on the next video.